Hi everyone, this is John with Sim Racing Revolution. So in today's video, I want to do an unboxing, and it's of the Next Level Racing freestanding keyboard stand. Next Level Racing freestanding keyboard stand. I got it. So the reason behind this is on my sim rig back here, I have a little keyboard, which is this guy here. It is a Logitech K400R, which is very capable little keyboard. It's got a touchpad on it, all sorts of stuff. So it really is good, but I have to set it on the floor, or I'm setting it here or there or somewhere else. And then because this chair and that monitor is what I do my video editing on, it'd be nice to have something I can pull forward that I could have a real full-size keyboard and mouse sitting on. So that's kind of the idea. So this is the box. Oh, it is pretty heavy, so I have good hopes that this is going to be pretty sturdy for me. So anyway, I'm going to set up the unboxing table here, and let's unbox this thing. We're going to unbox it today. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to assemble it, and Hi everyone, and we're back. So you can see the box on the table. It's very well packaged, which is always great to see. So let's get these straps off here. Now the reason I went with this instead of something that would attach to my rig is simply because, like what I said before, I want to use it in other applications other than just for my sim racing rig. So having this freestanding makes a whole lot of sense for me. Now, it might not make a lot of sense for you. Maybe you want something attached to your rig, and that's cool too. So, okay, so here we go. Let's cut it open. Just find these seams. Okay, and so I have a feeling that there's a box inside the box. And sure enough, there is a box inside the box. So let's just go ahead and get this out if I can. All right. All right, so now we're down to the third box. This is kind of like one of those Russian dolls that you just keep unboxing new boxes. Because it came in this box it came shipped in, and then that box that we just removed, and now this box. So I have a feeling that was the last box, but we'll see. All right, yes, we are down to the nitty-gritty. All right, so first off, you get a mouse pad. So this will be for the mouse portion of it, I'm assuming. And of course, oh, and you get a keyboard pad. It of course says Next Level Racing on it. Let's see, we have instructions, a bag of instructions. We do have some tools in there, an Allen key, a wrench, some other bits in there. It looks like we have an instruction manual, which is very good. Thank you for including something to help me get this together. So let's just take apart some of these things. So everything comes wrapped. Let me show you guys from this angle. Everything does come bubble wrapped, so everything should be in decent shape in here. I can't imagine anything got damaged or screwed up in any way during shipping. Trying to find the easiest way to open this up here. And I'm going to need my knife for this. There we go. I need that for other stuff too, I'm guessing. So this does look like one of the upright here that attaches to the base. If you guys can get a look at that. But I believe that's what will attach to the base. And up here we do have a locking, nice big handle on there, which is nice to accept another piece. And that's plastic, so that whole thing is plastic with a screw in there to tighten it down. And yeah, so not bad. It's very heavy gauge. Feels like aluminum. See, so this is going to be the keyboard tray here. This doesn't look too complicated here, so yeah, and it is. And this is one thing I wanted to see too, is because I've seen other YouTubers that are demoing this thing or putting it together, and I wanted to see how sturdy this plastic. So if you guys see that, this piece right here is all plastic, other than the screw that locks it down on here. But the tray itself is a very, you can see if I can get it close, it's a very heavy gauge, so that's nice. And of course that's all metal, powder coated looks like. And it does have a lip on this end, so it'll catch your mouse from falling, which is very cool. So let's keep going. I'm just gonna leave my knife open because I'm gonna need it for all this stuff, apparently. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what this piece does, but there's another piece like that. And of course this whole top piece is plastic. But the cool thing is, you could swap this out if you had an option somehow to swap that out. It is just this plastic piece on top is just bolted down, so you could replace it, provided you could find a piece that would attach there. This looks like an elbow, so this I believe is going to accept the keyboard tray. And maybe, I guess, the mouse tray as well, but it's just a pipe, two pipes put together. One has an end cap, the other side does not, and it's just welded joint right there. So there you go, there's that piece. Let's go, we're almost through the unboxing portion here. So this is going to be our base, and something fell out. I'm not sure. Something plastic broke and fell out. Oh, I think it was this corner piece here, or this end piece there. I think it broke in shipping, but because there's a little piece in the box. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's another little piece in there too. So I'm guessing that's all that was. But yeah, it looks fine. It's a, so this is what it's gonna sit on. This will be flat on the floor, I'm assuming, like this. Because there are some, looks like grommets in here. But there isn't any wheels that come with this. But there are the feet. Oh, that's what these are in here. I believe these are all the feet that attach to the bottom. So, cool. See, we're going to assemble this whole thing without the instructions. Let's get this last part cut open here. Now I think we can shut this, because otherwise I know how I am and I'll most likely cut myself. So this is going to be the keyboard tray, and this is pretty substantial. it's got 2 of those locking mechanisms on there. Now the cool thing with these is, if anything does happen to these plastic, that's the only thing that worries me about this whole set, is that these are plastic. I always look at the fail points of anything, and this looks like it's going to be the fail point of this if they ever do break. I'm not saying that they will, but you never know. But the good thing is they're bolted on. They're not like glued on or something crazy like that. So there is always an option to fabricate your own solution to replace these if you ever need to. But it is a substantial tray, and it does have that big lip on the bottom. You can see just like the other tray. This side does not have a lip going down, so this is what's going to go onto the arm this way, and then you'll be able to angle this whatever way you want. So very cool. And that, other than our little bits and pieces that looked like they broke, which it's not a big deal to me. It's going to be on the bottom anyway, and it doesn't really make a difference. So there we go. That is the unboxing. So when we come back, we're going to take a look at assembling this thing in the next portion of the video. So stay tuned, and we're going to struggle, hopefully not struggle, to put this whole mess together. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we are back, and I wanted to show off real quick the instruction manual to put all this stuff together. Try to keep the glare off of it, but it is in full color. It does have a material list on here, and it looks extremely easy to put together. So I don't think we're gonna have any trouble here. Pretty easy stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys that when you get this, there is some pretty clear instructions and even some ideas on how to put yours together, or how to arrange your keyboard tray and all that, and then some other items that you can get at Next Level Racing as well. All right, that's the instruction manual. So let's get into this. So the cool thing about this is that all of the pieces, like this piece I showed you earlier, does have all the M6 bolts already in it, because I was looking for a bag with bolts and screws and all that. Well, they've already put all these in, so you don't have to worry about finding anything, which is really nice. And also something you didn't get a chance to see is the feet that this comes with. This is a rubber backing, which stays very firm on flat surfaces. Like I have a hardwood floor here, but it's going to be sitting on carpet for the most part, but still it's pretty nice, and it's just got a nut and a bolt on the other end to go up through the base here and bolt on. So looks like it should work out just fine. We'll figure that out when we get there. And I think that's about it. So let's get to putting it together. So I will follow along in the instructions, just so people don't yell at me for not following instructions. We'll get to the first part. So we're gonna need this guy, and we're gonna need to take off these bolts here that I'm taking off here. Let's take these out. And they do have washers on them, so be careful you don't lose stuff. And there's this one in the middle. We'll put those screws down. Wow, and that really goes far in there, and there's a washer there too. So I don't think it matters either way you put this, because you can adjust this top piece whichever way you want. So first step, according to this, is we're going to put that long bolt back in there. So this just goes like that. I'm going to actually put it upside down so I can take a look and see where that hole is. Although I can't really see it, I'm just lining up the other holes. And it should just drop down. And now we do have our Allen keys and stuff that they gave us, so I'm just going to hand tighten that down. and grab these things. So these are the tools they gave us. So let's see, is it this one? It's never the first one I pick. So here we go. And we'll tighten this one down. And then next on there, we're gonna put these two on. So we'll put these through. There's one. Everything seems to fit just fine, which is a good sign. I think. Did I speak too soon? Nope, I didn't. I was wondering if I spoke too soon. And these nuts that come off here kind of have a built-in washer, as you can see there. So they should work just fine. The washer is on the other side, so. And again, just hand tighten those. Get our handy wrench tool along with our Allen key, Allen wrench. And that just goes on like that. Wants to slip off. And I got the wrong one again. They give you two that are similar in size. We'll just put this down. There we go. I could kind of see the metal flex a little, so I guess that means it's good. All right, there we go. So that is our base, which is going to be wobbly right now because we don't have the feet on there yet. So as you can see, the bottom of that bolt is sticking out, and that keeps the base unsteady right now. So next up, what we need to do is we get, okay, so we need this pole. Now, there's two ends to this pole. This part has a cover on it. This part does not. So this part is going to be the part that goes down here. This is our finished end, so that always stays out. So what we need to do is get this guy. This is our keyboard, or our mouse holder. And that needs to go up like this. So we do need to loosen this up a bit. Somehow that must fit. There we go. Oh, I do need to loosen it a bit. And you can see how that's just a little bit loosey-goosey right there. Okay. So they're just saying we put that on there right now. They don't say anything about tightening anything yet. So next up, they say we need to put this in here. So let me see if this, yeah, it does. I was gonna say make sure it does flex a little bit there. There we go. That's a tight fit. Okay, so that goes in like that. This whole thing seems very wobbly so far. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, so I think at this point we need to kind of tighten stuff up because our next step is going to be, actually let me straighten that out a little bit there. So we got to tighten this down too. There is a screw on this side that needs to lock down, so we're going to do that on this collar here. So this gives us the stability on the pole side. So so then that won't move. So we're going to leave this loose for now because we want to adjust it before we're done. Can you guys see this whole thing? Yeah, let me put this down a little bit farther here. There. So you can kind of see the whole thing. I think you can. Barely. All right, let me tilt this camera up a little, just to make sure you guys can see this last part, because this is probably the part that you're more wanting to see anyway. There, we can go up. We'll go up to like right there. There we go. So now you guys should be able to see this a little bit better. All right, so our last steps. All right, so before I put the next thing I want me to do is put the keyboard and the mouse tray on. Before I do that, I want to put the feet on the bottom. That's like step 6, and we're on like step 4. But I'd really like to get the feet on there, just because. And something really interesting is they put, oh, I see. So I believe the screw may stay on there like that, and then when you screw the feet in, you can adjust this tight, if that makes sense. So let's flip this whole thing over. And now the grommets in here, I believe these are plastic, maybe not. They feel like metal. So we'll just put the feet on at the default position for now, like all the way. And this one, the rubber pad has slid off a little bit. So this whole thing retails for $130 US. So it's not like the cheapest thing in the world, but it's also not crazy expensive either. So I'll make sure this thing sits flat once we put all that on. So it still feels, and that could be my floor, but we can adjust, we'll have to adjust the feet a little bit maybe to make sure it stays from wobbling too much. Okay, so the next step for us is to put on the trays. So this goes in like this. I think I gotta just open this up. I think it should have been open enough. There we go. Okay, so there's our keyboard, or our mouse side. And then this will be our keyboard side. So let's loosen all these up. Now you can see everything is very loose in here. So I'm gonna tighten that up just a little bit by hand, but we'll go back in and make sure everything's good and tight when we're done. Okay, so this is gonna go right through there. So there's 2 of these sleeves that we have to get through without busting anything. And that's really tight still. There we go. Okay. I think that's gonna work out really good if I can get it to kind of stay. See, this is really wobbling around. But anyway, there is the stand. So let's get this thing tight. That is really, really loose. And like I said, this all comes to you this way. You are gonna have to tighten all this stuff down. Like I said, we'll have to adjust the legs a little bit, so. And these do also have little clips that are built into these plastic adjustment things here that will allow you to run cables through. So if you don't have a wireless mouse and keyboard and you have a wired one for gaming, stuff like that, then you're going to need to, well, you don't need to, but you have the option of you know, doing some good cable routing, I guess I should be saying. So okay, let's go around this side and we'll tighten these down too with the right side. Okay, so I may speed along parts of this video. I may actually do a voiceover of the whole thing, we'll see. But, all right. So anyway, I just got to tighten down bolts, adjust it, and we're going to come back and we'll check out what this looks like next to the rig. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody, and I'm back to wrap this whole thing up. So here it is, all assembled, and it does work pretty good. You can adjust it, and it does slide. I didn't even think about this, but it does slide kind of underneath the profile a little bit, so of the rig, so I can get it really close. Now I still need to adjust everything a little bit more, a little bit better for the way I'm going to be using it, because the mouse can actually go, you know, down farther and the keyboard higher and all that stuff. So you have an infinite amount. Not infinite, but there's a lot of possibilities to set this up. Now, the one thing I did notice so far is the keyboard tray is a little bit, everything seems to be a little bit slanted, so it's not completely level, which is okay. I mean, it's still relatively sturdy. I would have liked to see maybe a slightly wider wheelbase. Now I'm talking cars. A slightly wider base to this. On the one side to accommodate, or just wider in general, just to accommodate this keyboard tray, which seems to be kind of weighting it down on one side a little bit. I'm not sure if there's a way to counter that at all. I guess I could by moving the keyboard tray over a little bit farther and moving the mouse down, which is a possibility. So I might try that and see if that works out for me just a little bit better for stability. Which is probably what I'm going to do. But the ability to adjust all of these trays up and down and even this way, and I do have this kind of tight, probably too tight. But if I loosen it just a little bit, you can see. And the fact that it has a lip on the bottom is very cool too. And it seems like very sturdy construction. Now, I'm always the kind of guy that's like looking for the fail things in this whole thing, and the only thing I can think of right now is the plastic. Any plastic bits are the things to me that are probably gonna, you know, just not work out. The other thing on this is the feet that screw onto the bottom that I showed you. They're really not that substantial, and as I was unscrewing the one bolt, it just kind of flops around a little bit, so you got to have that bolt screwed down all the way before you put it in. So there's just little things like that. They could have done a little better on the feet, and I think I may modify this and put like a through bolt, like drill it all the way through the bottom and put a through bolt in and put some better feet on the bottom that adjust a little bit better. So that's probably a modification I'm going to do to this, because why not, you know? But I would say for 130 bucks to have something that's not attached to your rig, which is something I wanted, unless you're going to do a DIY type of thing out of wood or something like that, this is going to be your best option. I really think it is. And I did try it out in my chair too, where I sit and do my editing, and it works there very well too. Another thing that I'm looking at is I have this DaVinci Resolve speed editor that I use for DaVinci Resolve. I think this would go here very nicely, and the mouse, I can get a smaller keyboard or something and use the mouse in conjunction or something like that. So that's really handy, so I don't have to have it sitting in my lap, which is not ideal at all. So anyway, yeah, I'm kind of happy with it so far. I do still have some adjustment. I'll let you guys know a couple weeks or a week or so after using it and tell you what I think. But so far so good. Assembly, like I said, was a breeze. It's not that hard. You saw that. So yeah, so you don't have to be scared of putting anything together. If you can put a rig together, this is a piece of cake. So, oh, and I also wanted to mention that these pads that they included are really nice and thick. They are embroidered on the edges. This is just a, you know, I don't know, it's not silk screen, but something like that, you know. But anyway, the edges are all stitched, which is kind of cool. And they're really thick and, you know, very soft, and they stick on these very good. So yeah, there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is John at Sim Racing Revolution. Please like, subscribe, and please hit the bell icon so you know when new episodes like this are coming out. Now we're gonna have some other unboxings coming up next week, so I'm really excited about. So hopefully you guys subscribe and do hit that bell so you know when those are coming out. And yeah, eventually we're gonna get into some racing on this channel. No, we haven't done that yet. So yeah, we are gonna get into some racing on this channel. And I still need to give you like a long-term, not long-term, but kind of after a little bit of racing with this new Fanatic F1 wheeled Podium F1, what I think of it. So all that is coming. So thanks guys for watching. Take care. Keep sim racing. This is John at Sim Racing Revolution. See you next time.